Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, happy Monday morning. It is, August the 7th today? I can't keep track of the weeks. It's going so fast. Headed out for another work commute. I did not have a chance to do my live stream this past weekend, as you all are well aware. I didn't anticipate a couple of family projects that were going on over the weekend, and they totally monopolized my time for the whole weekend. Definitely Friday and Saturday, which were my prep days for that. So yesterday I just kind of relaxed a bit. I took my first day off in quite a long time, and did some video editing and got some more stuff ready for the encode and publish queue. So hopefully I'll have a couple more Cannonball videos and a couple of ride vlogs for this week to keep everybody up to date on the Cannonball and live stream plans. Morning. Not like everyone waits with bated breath for my next video, but I feel bad when I say I'm going to do something and I don't do it. It's one of my pet peeves in life. I try to follow through on what I say I'm going to do. And I got enough gas for today. It's getting thin, but I'll make it. Got 2 dots on there. That'll be about 65, 70 miles. So I'll be fine. Ooh, golly, that's bright. It's dilating out my eyeballs. And of course my inner visor is fogged up because it's so humid out here. It's, I don't know, mid-80s. I forgot what the temperature was, 82, 84, something like that right now. Really high humidity. And today we are headed for another record high. I think it's 104 is what we've got on the schedule for our torture today. That car has been sitting there in front of that driveway for weeks. I guess they're out of town and they're trying to protect their driveway, but you know, why park it in the middle of the street? You jack off, put it in your own driveway, turn it sideways in your driveway. Get it off the street so other people can use the street. The street's not for you, it's for everybody. Public. Ugh. I don't know why everybody parks on the street in our neighborhood. It's so lazy. We've got these giant driveways that can hold, you know, most of them at least 4 cars. A lot of them are 6 or 8 car driveways. I mean, hell, my driveway is huge. It's long, so you can get 2, almost 3 cars in the lower driveway portion, and then in the upper driveway area behind the gate I can put 4, almost 5 cars up there. And there are many of the homes in that neighborhood that are the same way. They're, you know, there's plenty of room on your own property. Put your car in your driveway. I know in the north states, hell, even like Colorado and stuff like that, older, denser populated cities, parking on the street is just commonplace. But here in the south, there's so much more room, and you've got your own room, you've got your own space, you have your own driveway, you have your own garages. Park your fucking car in your own driveway on your own property, man. Get it out of everybody's way. I don't get it. In our neighborhood, in Texas in general, there's no sidewalk restrictions, regulations, whatever. You know, if you see sidewalks like this, it's a rare case. The sidewalks are not mandated down here, which is really odd. So in my neighborhood, having all the cars parked all over the streets, in the intersections, you know, right up to stop signs, everything else, it makes it a real hazard for bicyclists and pedestrians to get around, because there are no sidewalks, or if there are, they're not contiguous, they don't go very far. So you're stepping out into the street, you know, to avoid walking in somebody's yard or whatever, and traffic is zipping through there super fast, whether there are cars or not. And I know a lot of people argue, yeah, well, if you park your cars on the street, then it slows everyone down, it acts as a choke point to where people have to, no, bullshit. Speeders are going to speed, man, and all it does is make them more dangerous, because then they're shagging around, you know, pedestrians or parked cars or one thing or another with very little clearance and very little warning. It's not smart, not safe. So all the extra obstacles are just creating hazards. Anyway, there's my morning rant. I don't know how I got off on that tangent. Oh yeah, the white car that's been parked in the street for 2 weeks. There's a Christian Brothers automotive car. Too bad those guys turned out to be such turds. I will say that the owner of this branch, whatever owner or manager, I think it's the owner, he's still calling me, leaving messages. He left one last week, and I'd really like to get this taken care of for you. What, after the bad publicity? Dickus. I don't know why I've got that Monty Python skit going through my head.
I have a very great friend in Rome called Biggus Dickus. Silence! What is all this insolence? He has a wife, you know. You know what she's called? She's called Incontinentia. Incontinentia buttocks. Shut up! What is all this? Enough of this rowdy, rebel, sticking behavior.
So my work schedule is totally chock full of goodies this week. Again, I don't know what time I'm going to have, if any, to do further video editing, but I do have the next episode of the Cannonball ride headed out toward California, cooked and pretty much ready to go. Well, let me say it's built. It's not cooked yet. I have to encode it. I was still trying to chop down about another 8 to 10 minutes out of it. I think I've got it cut down to, what was it, from 4.5 hours, well, about 5 hours actually, down to 52 minutes, something like that. I was trying to get it down to about 45 minutes if I can, without losing, anything interesting. So if I can trim just a little bit more out of it, I got a couple more little music tracks and polishing touches I need to add to it, and then I'll toss it into the encoder, and I'll decide if I'm going to release that early this week or if I'm going to leave that for a premiere this weekend to precede the live stream. We'll see. I'll have a couple of other ride vlogs and maybe some other teaser stuff that I can publish through the week here. Those Cannonball videos are really kicking my butt as far as the time investment, because I discussed it in one of my vlogs. I don't think I included it. I nixed it before it made it out. But basically I screwed up when I started the Cannonball trip. I put a brand new GoPro 11 on the front of my helmet, and I thought that I had checked all the settings that I needed, but apparently I missed the GPS. It's very unfortunate. Okay, this guy cannot maintain his speed. I ain't waiting. I missed turning on the GPS, unfortunately, and that means that all of my telemetry stuff was not included in the videos, and it really disrupts my editing workflow if I want to create those overlays. So what I've been doing is going back to the dash cam footage and the 360 footage when it was running. Unfortunately, the 360 wasn't always running. I thought I had most of the time, but I missed a couple of days, and the dash cam has some of the telemetry in it, but not all. It has speed and position and time, but it doesn't have direction, altitude, G-forces, cornering loads, angle, lean angle, all that stuff. All the fancy gauges it doesn't have. And even the Max doesn't have a very good lean angle gauge and all that. This one does. But anyway. So I've been trying to assemble some of the telemetry stuff, inferring it from the other side, you know, using the other cameras to kind of build it up. The problem with that is I have to go find the section of video that corresponds to what the dash cam video is, and then use the dash cam video as an anchor to kind of ground the telemetry file, and then I can add my Garmin Zumo over the top of that, and it figures out where it is in the timeline and gives me some kind of a base starting point. So anyway, I got to do that for every video chunk that I want to encode. It's a pain in the butt. It's taking me way too long. Luckily, after the Cannonball starts, I think I had the 360 running every day, all the time. So I should have, ooh, watch out guys. I should have easier telemetry rebuilds after that. Would have been so much easier if I just turned on the GPS in the camera. Dang it. I thought it was on, I really did. Actually, I thought it was on by default. That's what I can't figure out how it got turned off. I think by default, when those things come out of the package, GPS is turned on. Remote and some of the other stuff is not turned on. That's, you know, you have to configure that. You dickhead. Never even looked. It's changing lanes over the top of me. Alright, welcome back to the day. I don't even know if any of the morning vlog was recorded or not. My camera keeps turning itself off randomly. I don't know why. The last message that I've seen was your SD card is not inserted properly or some nonsense. I have no idea. I've unseated it, reseated it, cleaned the contacts on the card, you know, all the normal troubleshooting steps, but who knows? Who knows? Whatever it was I was saying this morning probably wasn't that important anyway. Woo! Ooh, and this seat's already hot. Goodness. It only takes a minute or two. The bike has been sitting here literally like 3 minutes. Ah, it's hot. It's hot in Houston. Digital thermometers in my warehouse just showed 103 indoors in the shade, and I've got like 22-foot ceilings in there or whatever it is, so all the heat is up high. That's just ambient. Woo. In front of the building it's hotter than that because the west-facing wall there is just acts as a giant hot plate in the afternoons. Anyway, I decided to swap out for the 500, give the Rebel another little exercise, ride it for a couple days. I mentioned it in a couple of rides. I don't know if the vlogs made it out or not. I'm noticing kind of a crunchy sound coming out of the driveline on that 500X. I don't know where it's coming from. It seems to come and go, but now it's getting a little bit noisier. So I don't know. I'm going to pull the rear wheel off of it and re-inspect my cush drive. I checked it when I put the new tire on the back, the new Pilot Road 5 that I put on there, or Road 6, whatever it is. The cush drive seemed to be okay. I didn't really notice any slack in it, but it's definitely rear wheel is where it sounds like it's coming from to me. It's either countershaft sprocket or rear wheel. So I don't think my chain is crunchy. It could be the chain. I mean, can't rule anything out at this point. That chain does have 11,000 and change on it. Both sprockets, front and rear of the chain. I replaced all of them together at like 9,500 miles or something like that, and the bike's got 22,000 and change on it now. So it could be chain. It just sounds a little more crunchy than that. So I'm wondering if it's not rear wheel bearing. Maybe my left rear wheel bearing on the sprocket side, it might be getting crunchy and giving up, and that's not a good thing. So I don't want to ride it too much more until I pull it apart and take a look. So I'll run the Rebel or some of the other bikes around. I hopefully should have some time in the next couple weeks or so to get back into my bike projects. So that's going to be a good opportunity for me to pull that stuff apart. I need to make a couple of parts orders for other bikes, so I'll just add some wheel bearings to the list. If those are crunchy, then chances are the bearings on the 500F are also aging out. 2013 500F and the 2014 500X, both of them 20,000 miles, and I keep them up really well. You know, I always re-grease the collars and re-grease the bearings and everything when I'm in there, but you just never know. Yeah, never know. And when I grease them, I check them. You know, I make sure they rotate freely and they don't feel bound up or anything like that. On the X, I did do the lateral push-pull test on the wheel, and I didn't feel anything abnormal, but that doesn't really, it's not definitive. It doesn't tell you for sure. You need to actually get your finger in there and roll it, see if it's binding, and if it's suspect in any way, shape, or form, it's got to come out. You got to yank it. So I need to find my bearing puller press set. It's somewhere in the garage. If I can't find it, I'll just buy another one. Or hell, I'll just take the wheel over to Wild West and have them do it for me. They're quick. They don't mind. The last couple times I did it, they didn't even charge me. It just, here, yeah, we'll do it. Just bang, done. And then the previous times I've taken it over there, I've actually bought the bearings from them, and they didn't charge me to put it in. But I'm sure they made money on the bearings. These assholes and their double turns. Figure out what you're doing. Yes, you're clueless. Ugh. Clearly marked. You don't even have to be able to read to figure that one out. Just have to understand basic symbols. Wow, surprisingly light in traffic. Rush hour should be coming any time now. I am surprised there's not more traffic out here. It's 3:30 something, 3:15, I don't know what it is. Ah, there's the traffic, okay. Restoring my faith in Houston traffic prediction. Now, maybe now that I'm taking this thing home, I'm going to put my mount back up here. I'll fix the charger issue, whatever that was, and the cable. I'll rerun a new cable and put my quad lock back up here. I hate having the thing in my pocket because I'm always panicking. I'm like, oh crap, did I zip up my pockets? I need to reach out to MadStad again. I was just looking down here at my screen, remembering I need to contact MadStad and see if they're waiting on me or if I'm waiting on them for that windscreen. I don't mind buying it, but they offered to send me one as an evaluation so I could do a review on it. I love MadStad screens, so I'm already biased. I've got them on the 500X and on my Riker. Love those screens. Adjustable up, down, adjustable front, back, rake, and quick detach. They pop right off. Now, the one on the 500X doesn't quick detach, but the one for the Rebel does. So, that'd be cool. It is stupid hot outside today, but I am having a hankering for fried pickles and beer. I think I might go over to Willie's today. I'm just not going to sit outside like I did last time. Last time the weather was quite nice. Today, not so much. I don't know if I would survive sitting in the metal seats outside. I might melt. Yeah, man, some fried pickles and a couple of big pints of beer. Hell yeah. So our record heat wave continues here in Houston. We don't have any more rain in the forecast until possibly middle of next week. So we're looking at another 8 to 10 days before we get any rain here based on the current forecast models. But man, it's just crazy hot here. Like these heat waves blowing through this jacket right now are uncomfortable. It's, you know, the wind does not cool you off anymore, not at these temps. The heat coming up off the pavement out here is probably 120 or better. It's insane. It's like being inside an easy bake oven. Oh shit, it's hot. Woo! It's just brutal. I don't think I like this new Accord back end. It doesn't look right to me. That's the new Accord? Yuck. The back end is too pinched and squashed looking. It's like it's not finished. It's missing something. Oh, instant dehydration. Does anyone want some Quasi jerky? Okay, back in my neighborhood, and I am hot. I'm ready to go inside. Unfortunately, I can't grab a cold beer because I think we emptied the beer stash over the weekend. I'm gonna have to go back out to Wally World behind me there and pick up another pack of liquid goodness. Buddy, it's hot. I don't know why it's always hotter out here in Katy, it feels like, than it is even further in toward my warehouse. Home again. Time to grab some cerveza and relax a little bit. Oh man, the car's gone. Somebody else has got my beer conveyance. I'll catch y'all later.